This is Karen on the Lake Stamper here in Grand Blanc, Michigan. How's everyone doing today? I am doing brights today, and if you like what you see, smash that subscribe button, okay? And if you hit it twice, you'll get notifications all the time. So today, it's with the True Love, and the True Love is just stunning. Look at all the beautiful paperwork. Look at that. All in black and white. It's absolutely beautiful. And this is your time to be your Van Gogh, your Matisse, because you can do the coloring and you can do the painting and you can do any colors you want to do. And it turns out stunning, doesn't it? This is using the magenta, both colors, light and dark. And I'm loving it. And then the dark old olive with some granny apple, and it's like amazing how beautiful this card came out. And I'm going to show you some techniques and some fun things to really make this pop. And using this curvy, oh my gosh, this Quite Curvy, once you get the hang of it, you fall in love, absolutely fall in love. So I want to get this started so we can show you how to cut this and how to put this together, and also the inside as well. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing you need is some paper. All right, and let's get this started. Okay, this is a 5.5 times 8.5, and then you score it right at 4 1/4. All right, nice and simple. Get your bone folder out. And nice. Okay, I love this Magenta Madness. It's bright, it's cheerful, great for your Valentine cards, or great just to send, or great just to keep because they're so beautiful. Now I've got 5 1/4 times 4. I'll have 2 of these, one for the inside as well as one for the outside, but inside and outside. But I'm just trying to eyeball it, see, make sure I've got it correct, and I do. Now let's do some coloring. A great way to color this lovely paper is to take maybe a light and dark of your favorite color, or whatever color you want to use. I'm using the magenta light and dark Stampin Blends. I usually start with the light color and the bigger brush. And when I'm doing it, I'm able to really just do really big sweeping motions, because right at the moment I don't care if I'm out of line or not, because most of it's going to be with this color. And then when that dries a little bit, I go to the darker color, and sometimes I do use the little bit of the smaller brush, but sometimes I use the bigger. But the smaller one does give you a little bit more direction when I want to just follow the lines of the black indents of the flowers. And even though it looks kind of funky right now, it actually will dry, and it'll show a really nice highlight of this color of the darker magenta with that lighter color. Now the same thing happens with my leaves. I'm using granny apple, and I'm using dark old olive. So this will be my darker one. And I do like the Stampin' Rights. They are a little bit fine-tuned, especially when you're doing something smaller. I will use the bigger brush on some of these bigger leaves, and especially if they're connected. And I really just, and it's really peaceful when you're doing something like this. Mind you, this card does take a little bit longer to do. It's a little bit more artistic, and it's probably a card you're going to keep. Or maybe you can frame it. I mean, because it's a beautiful card. I mean, it's stunning. You could sit the whole darn day and color this whole sheet of flowers, okay? And that's fine. You should go for it. But the reason I did maybe a bunch like this is I'm going to use just a small amount, really, when you look at it with the mini curvy. So I got as many as I could, and I also want to make sure I get some of the bigger flowers when I'm cutting out with the mini curvy as well. Now, just to show you, I used the lighter. Okay, now we're going to use the darker, but I am going to use the smaller. Okay, And I'm just going to, again, just follow the lines where the leaves are, and just lightly color this. And you'll see that it's darker, which is cool. That's what you want. You want this little line area to be darker. It's going to dry. Remember that. Don't think you messed up and you have to start all over again. Don't ever do that. If you don't like something, go over it again with your lighter color, okay, with the bigger brush, and it'll blend nice and easy. And when that dries, you'll never know. So I've done that a couple times if I didn't like something, or if I thought it was a little bit too dark. And it's just like watercolors, you know. You could do this all day. Now, the other thing I will also mention is the Wink of Stella. Wink, good old Wink. Make sure you get it on something that's a kind of a sample paper, so that you don't splash this all on your beautiful card that you've just been painting. I just get enough out, or enough that I think will be out. Then I do want to highlight really nicely the beautiful stamens inside. All right, now that we've got it all colored, isn't this beautiful? And I did the Wink of Stella. I did that ahead of time. Why not? This is my little piece of paper that I need, okay? So I have already cut the inside of this, or outside, it depends on which way I want to use it. But right now I want to make sure that this is going to be 5 1/4 at least times 4, all right? So I know that this way right now is too small for 5 1/4, so I need to move it this way to see where 5 1/4 times 4 lands. Now, it just depends on what flowers do I want to use on this one. Do I want to use this flower, or maybe do I want to cut that up and use this side? Okay, so it's 5 1/4. All right, super. I like that, but I also like the other way. I know, it's like, oh, which one should I use? Which way? All right, so let's do 5 1/4 this way. All right. Make sure it's 5 1/4, because if you mess up, which I have, I cut it too short and I had to recolor a whole sheet of paper again. So it's 5 1/4 times 4. Now, if you don't want to do anything fancy, you can use this for the inside and call it a day. All right. Or you can take this little piece and you can mini curvy it. Isn't that cool? So that's just a helpful hint there, okay? Now I've got 5 1/4. Turn it around, all right? Just one way, one time, and let's put it at 4. Okay, and now I don't know if I want to get rid of this grouping here, so I'm going to turn this so it is, let's see if this is the shorter side, and it is. Just make sure that's what happened to me, I know, right? So it's 5 1/4 times 4. All right. Oh, I know. I love them. I love them all. All right. There it goes. It's off. And again, keep this. Look at that beautiful piece. Okay. Now I've got my 5 1/4 times 4. Okay. It's going to be a horizontal or landscape card. So, I mean, if you didn't even want to do the mini curvy, look at that. Look how beautiful that is as a base card. Oh my God, it's beautiful. But we want to do some fun stuff with this, okay? So a couple things that I've already die cut and gotten them ready, okay, is first off, you can use a group. You don't have to use the one I'm using. I'm using this little guy here. You could also use this little guy here, or this one with the leaves, okay? This is really pretty. I've used that before. It's darling. But, oh my God, it's so fun. It really is. Okay, so I'm going to use this little guy. Now, I have already cut this one, but I'm going to show you how to cut this as well. So here we are. I can either do it so it's 50%, 50% here, 50% and a little bit open. Or I can do it a little bit deeper, okay? Because maybe I want to keep one of the flowers in there, okay? So here's my flowers. Maybe I want to turn it this way and see if this flower will make it. And if it doesn't make it and it's too high, then, oh, I won't use that, okay? You can also turn this around, all right, so that you can get some of those flowers in there. That would be a pretty look. Okay, so I mean, you're sitting here with your flowers trying to figure out where is a good area to cut. And really, they're all beautiful, so it doesn't really matter because they're all going to be gorgeous. I'm just going to cut this little bit of a flower right about here. Okay, so what I usually want to do is I like to put it on my, I have a Crafters, I have a Gemini, so I'm going to put this straight up on my magnet, okay? And I think I'm going to do it this way, by the way. All right, so that you can see it. I'm going to, so I don't put any washi tape on my beautiful painted flowers because I don't want to do them again. But I want this to kind of stay. You know, you just never know if it's going to move. And you don't want to have a nervous breakdown. So just take the end, you know, 3 to 4 little dots, or whatever works for you. And then get some washi tape or whatever you've got handy. And tape it to your, tape it before you die cut it, okay? Okay, I've got them both secure. That's where I would like to have these guys. And I'm gonna put this through the die machine and I'll be right back. Okay, so we just finished cutting this up, okay? We're using this little die cut right here. Now, if you just did this at 5 1/4 times 4, it would be, you wouldn't be able to tell that there was a little mini curvy area. So what you can do is, I'm going to take off about 1/2 inch on this little guy here. So let me do that. I'm just going to take off 1/2 inch. All right. And again, save these. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. And then this makes it just a little bit thinner. Super. All right, and then you can keep this side, which is perfect, okay? I like that this one is a little bit longer. If you look at my other one, it's about the same. You could maybe shave off some if you want. If you've got some excess leaves, maybe you don't want so many leaves. It's a good time to do some trimming, all right? But otherwise, I think this looks just lovely. Perfect. And now we're not done. We've got an idea of where our mini curvy's going. It's making a nice little road here. But we've got these little little holes here. So I had already took the liberty of cutting this little guy. So to make it to go a little faster, right? So what I do is when you cut this up, okay, just take about 1 inch of paper, all right? And we're not going to use all of it, but that's okay. This will come right off, okay? And so now you're left with this little mini curvy area and this one, okay? So this is pretty cool. What I did is I can do a couple things. You can use this piece right here, all right? And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut off this little guy right here where all the holes are. Because I don't need the holes, I already have the holes. And if I use this piece, what's going to happen is you're just going to see nothing because it's going to match up with the holes that I already have. So this takes just a second. We're just going to cut this right off. All right, you can save it too if you want. You can use it for something else. So you just find the line of where you want to put this little guy. It's so cute. So it makes a nice little border too, okay? Now I've got some left over here, which is great, but you'll see, look. Can you see that? All my holes are covered with pink, and if I didn't have that, you'd have it see-through. Pink, see-through. So I'm going to glue this. Look at that, I even found my snail. So I'm just going to lightly, because I really don't want to go over the holes. You can also just glue this if you want, or use your Tombow, and just kind of eyeball it, because it's just covering all it's doing is covering the holes. Okay, and you don't want it to be seen really, you just want the holes to be covered. So you look to make sure the holes are covered. And it takes a second, or you know, but it makes it look so pretty. And then once you find you got everybody covered, you're gonna have some excess of that tail, all right, which is fine. And then you go, okay, I just want to make sure there isn't any pink, any magenta showing. There isn't. They're all covered. All the holes are covered. Look at that. Look at that. So pretty. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my God, that's beautiful. I know. So take your little scissors and snip that right off once you've got it where you want. All right, and then snip this side and see, you're good to go. Look at that. So your top of your card is ready to be put down. Super. Now, this guy was the leftover of this part here, see? Okay, so you say to yourself, it's like a puzzle, so it takes a minute. You got to figure out which way goes where, and we're going to just give it a little border. Nothing outrageous, just a little border. All right. The reason I want to do this is I want to use all the leftovers that I have, and all of a sudden you can see that you've got all these little leftovers to play with, and you may as well use them because it will attract even more excitement on your card. So and all you have to do is follow the lines and see how it curves around, and then bam, you got a cute little border on this bottom one. Now I can make it smaller border. All right, let's do that. We'll make it just a little bit smaller. And again, you're just eyeballing it, hoping that you're, you know, doing a good job without looking at it. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God, I love it. I love this color. I just love this color. You know, you can do some bright yellows with this. This would be great. The daffodils, you know, with the flowers, the roses. You can make any color you want, but I think this is so vibrant right now. Okay, so now we're all set. We've got it where we want it as the border. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Just amazing. Now, I'm just going to find just a little bit. I'm just going to put a little glue down. The reason I'm doing that is we're going to stamp. And before we glue this whole thing down, God forbid we make a boo-boo, right? So, hold on, okay? I want to get this stamping done so then we can continue. I can't really continue with the rest of this unless our stamping is done. So, I know that the 1 in a million, I love this. You're one in a million. Isn't that fun? I mean, you can do any of these, but I want to go in the direction of this area right here where it's going to land, okay? So I have my little card already ready. Definitely we want some Magenta Madness. Definitely. Something soft to stamp on, which I'm using my little embossing folder here. That's nice, and it's got a nice soft foam for these photopolymers. All right. Isn't this a pretty color? It's so pretty. Okay. All right. Yay! Woohoo! All right, stamping is sometimes, you know, a little anxiety going on, but we did it. We did it. Okay, now we know that we're exactly where we want to be. Okay, now I can start putting stuff down. All right, so now that we know where it's supposed to be, and we're feeling less anxiety, now we can actually take this off because we just had it just tacked on there very lightly. And now we can, with nice ease, we can do that, okay? You could probably just stamp first and then hope for the best, and then just keep trimming this down. That's another way to do that. I kind of like to do it this way just so I know where everything is supposed to be. I love that we have all the little holes all covered with our magenta. So we can definitely just put that right in here. Super. Look at that. And I see one little area that I didn't get, so let's do that real quick. I'm just going to give it a little color. That's all you need. So pretty. Okay, now, just a little dry off a little bit. I'm going to trim this off now. This was our excess from our mini curvy. Look at that. So far, so good. Look at that. That's just a nice base. You just used a Whisper White and a little bit of cardstock and a little bit of time because you wanted to color. So I took one of these that was right at the very end of the paper, and I like this flower right here. I thought I could maybe use this part of the flower, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to cut because I love my leaves. I love the leaves like that. And sometimes, you know, cutting straight is fine too. Or, wait a second, we can just do this. Follow this really pretty flower right here. Because this is pretty to keep. We could use this for a border for something else. So, don't want to get rid of that if you don't have to. Look how pretty that is. So, that goes in that save pile. You know, we have a lot of those little save piles, don't we? I know, right? Okay, so I've got this really pretty flower. I definitely want to use it, and I think I'm just going to maybe just put it this way. Yeah, because it fits so much better. So that would be a dimensional. Okay, so let's get the dimensionals out. And oh my God, I love these. They're so pretty, so vibrant. Just gorge. And if you don't like a flower and maybe you put too much stuff on, you can always cover that flower up. Like maybe this flower down here is maybe too much for me. You know, I put too much Wink Stella on it, for instance. I think I'm going to put it right here instead. And then just let it overlay as if it's a big flower. And then it covers any kind of, you know, mishap you might have had. Oh, what a great idea. I know. Great idea. You know, just hide those little imperfections or ones that you think are imperfections. No one would ever notice, you know that. But that's something that we all have to deal with. That's, you know. So let me just get these off. So pretty. Okay. Now, I do have a little bit too much Wink Stella on this one, but I didn't want to get rid of this flower because it's so beautiful. So sometimes you can even overshadow it, and you can do a wonderful shadowing where it looks like it's a double flower as well. You can do that. Or since I do like part of this flower, I'm going to obviously keep that. And I want some of this, the leaves, to go right on that white. Oh, okay. That's gorgeous. That's a keeper. All right, now let's glue this baby, all right? Because, I mean, it's not even a card yet. It's not even on our cardstock. I got so excited. I did the whole card without the cardstock. Oh, my gosh. All right, so now we don't need this anymore because we're in heaven. Oh, love, love, love. And you can use your Magenta Madness. Beautiful ribbon for that if you want. This one I'm not going to put a ribbon on. The other one I did. I did a cute little ribbon. I know, I was like so impressed with myself. Okay, I'm loving that. Aren't you? Oh my gosh, I love it. Now I think silver really rocks with this. We're going to put some of this beautiful silver down in just a minute. Okay, but we want to do the inside because why not? Let's do the inside. So we cut another one. I did it earlier. I did the exact same thing. I put a little bit of a border underneath so the really nice little dots would have a nice pink border. Isn't that sweet? This is again on 5¼ times 4. And we're just going to, look at that inside. Look at that. Now you will have had an extra piece, okay? You can put that on here, but why not keep it for another card? And again, keep these, in case you don't feel like doing a whole spread like that, you could actually do this with a whimsy cutter. Cut that up, and you've got a pretty little trim inside if you want to do it that way. So it's just all kinds of fun stuff. But I love that. I wanted to show off this rose love. Okay, now we're ready to do some fun embellishments, okay? Okay, so you see that I did the really pretty little silver with my little bow. And I'm going to continue my little silver right in the stamens a little bit, okay? Or you can not put them in there and just sprinkle them around in the whisper white area. That'll be just as pretty. Okay. There we go. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, one more, just for fun. Let's do this one here. And we can maybe just put a couple small ones on this one, but I don't think so. I think we're just fine. I love how these turned out. Oh my God, I love these. Look at this. Look how cute these are. These are darling, and it does take a little bit of time, but if you have a little bit of time on your hands and you see this beautiful paper in the black and white and you want to color it up, it's good for stress as well. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was a lot of fun. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button too, yeah. And make one of these for yourself. I mean, I did. Anyway, have a great week, all right? We'll chat soon, all right? And happy crafting. Take care. Bye-bye.